Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
The Org Boss. The Org Boss is a residential and commercial organizing company that specializes in decluttering, interior design, inventory staging, business processing documentation, and more. Reach The Org Boss today at 832-617-0624 or send an email to info@theorgboss.com.
Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Hey, yo, what's good? And welcome to You Know It Startup Masters, the place if you're thinking about starting a business or if you have a business, this is the place where you want to come to get your gems for us to pour into you so you don't have to skin up your knee to the white meat like we did. Team No White Meat. I'm your girl, Kalia Guillory, also known as KG. And I am so happy you decided to spend just a little bit of an hour of your time with us so you can gain knowledge that's going to allow you to execute effectively and efficiently. You can catch me and follow me on the gram, on the book, LinkedIn, and you can also catch me on YouTube at KOG Speaks, and that's KOG Speaks TV for the YouTubers out there. G,
what up, though?
What it do?
You know what it is, man. Welcome back to another great episode of Startup Masters. I'm your co-host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Now, look, you can find me anywhere online. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I'm at a few other places. We're going to talk about these carolers in a minute. At G Hawkins, that's G Hawkins with the Z. But like we tell y'all each and every week, man, we try to bring the gems to you. We try to give you the insight when it comes to building that business, building that brand, taking you from the foundation, the things that are necessary, all the way to soaring like an eagle, doing that execution, putting in that work each and every day to make sure that your customers and clients are taken care of, because it's all about the relationship currency.
Hashtag it.
Exactly. Got to bring it in. So without further ado, let's just hop in.
Let's
Are
go.
you ready to roll?
Let's go.
Let's do this. Okay, so I met this young fellow. Met him at doing some IT work at a school, and I was having a conversation with some colleagues, and he comes in, and there's some IT talk happening, there's some MacBook Pro talk happening, there's some Office talk happening, and I'm like, cool, don't know the guy, got introduced, cool, dude has a swagger with him. I'm like, okay, he's in marketing and brand. I'm like, cool, I understand that. I can sense his aura. This dude's about his business. Fast forward a few months, somebody walks up to me and saying, hey, I think you would be great to have a conversation with this young man, and y'all should really connect and talk. He's got a lot of great things going on. Really good guy. His spirit is right.
Come on,
I
Spirit.
said, well, come on, Spirit. I said, okay, well, bet. She gave me his name. I was like, yeah, I ain't met him. It
was fast, too.
All right, well, I'll meet him. Yeah, put me on, though. It's cool. So then he turns around and walk in, and she's there, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I know this cat. I know this young man. And needless to say, through that conversation, through the discernment that I have about people and being around the right people, and the right opportunities seems to always fall into your lap when you're walking in purpose and design. So it brought us to this table today right here on Startup Masters with the one, the only, the main man that has the thing that's missing in your kitchen, the inventor himself,
tagline.
Mr. Bradford Deyon. Bradford, what's up, my G? What's good?
Everything is great. Everything is great. After that type of intro from the both of you, I just don't know if I have anything else to say. And I'm typically the marketing and branding guy.
Hey.
So, but It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm truly impressed walking into the offices. It's amazing. If you guys ever get a chance to stop by, please stop by. But yes, I did invent a product. It's called a Towel Tom. I met Gary. Interestingly enough, my story about him was similar to his story about me. You know, I was in the office and someone said, hey, there's this guy. You need to meet this guy. He's great with business. He knows all these different types of things. And I was like, oh, okay. And they said his name. I didn't remember his name. My bad.
No, it's all good.
So clearly, it was on the other side too.
It's clear. It was obviously on
Neither
the
one of
other
y'all was
side.
like, "Hey, what's up, man?"
Yeah, okay. I
Neither
know him
one
if I
of
see
us.
him.
Right. So I walked into a room. Someone brought me into the room. I walked into a room and I met Gary. And I was like, I know this guy. Similar to your story, the spirit of discernment was there as well. It was there as well. Some of the things that you were saying in that moment when you were telling me about the podcast and telling me about everything that you were doing just really popped out. So when it came up as an option to be on the show, Startup Masters, I was like, absolutely. I'm definitely want to do it. So I'm happy to be here today.
We appreciate you, man. We appreciate that love. And as we do right now, for those that are watching, you sitting on your couch right now, you're in traffic right now, listen to this. We like to take the entrepreneurs through that journey. We like to start from the beginning, from when the seeds were first sown into that fertile ground. We like to walk through where they're at today, as well as the 5, 10, 20-year plan. B, are you ready to take this journey with us and all the subscribers today, my G?
I'm ready.
That's what it is.
I'm ready.
So
I'm in the car.
Let's do this then, man. Let's hop in. Like we say on the show, let's hop in a DeLorean. We gonna hit 88. We going back in
88,
time.
1980.
Talk about it, Michael J. Fox style. We going back in time. Tell us what was going on in your life. What was happening around the way when you said, you know what? Every kitchen needs a towel, Tom. Talk to us.
Ironically, you know, Gary, it started off, I think, really back in the 80s.
Okay.
You know, as a child with my mom, she always spurred us to be creative. She always reinforced creativity. So one of the things she used to say about me was that I would sit there with a pencil and a piece of paper and always try to balance that pencil on that paper and would just get extremely frustrated. So I always had a desire to find a solution to a problem. So one day, I was in my kitchen, and for some reason, the apartment that I was living in had white cabinets. You know, I don't know. I've never lived in a place with white cabinets, and it had like a white countertop type of thing going on. And that day, I cleaned the kitchen, and I think I cleaned the kitchen to my wife's standard. So
Hey,
the kitchen,
You won.
Happy
I
wife,
won.
happy life.
So I cleaned the kitchen to my wife's standard. So it looked really, really immaculately clean. So after I finished cleaning the kitchen, I stood back and I looked and I was kind of marveling at what I had done. I was proud of myself cleaning the kitchen in my, late 20s, 30s. And I looked and there was a dish towel sitting there. And the dish towel had no place. Everything was in its place. And then right at that moment, God gave me the vision, and I saw the Towel Tom, which is the product that I came up with. I saw the Towel Tom sitting on the counter exactly where
Come
it
on,
would sit.
Vision.
So I saw the Towel Tom sitting on the counter exactly where it would sit. And, fast forward that down the line, one day, I had some traffic tickets. It
happens to the best.
It happens.
Yeah. They turned into warrants.
They can.
It can happen.
It can get real. Compounded.
Right.
Real fast.
Like compound interest.
Compound interest. And I was pulled over by a cop. Cop pulled me over, and he was like, hey, I know you're probably used to people letting you make it with these tickets. Today is not that day. You're going to go to jail. And so I was like, man, you're taking me to jail. I'm not really the jail type. So,
Wait. Okay.
Not really the jail
Okay,
type.
right.
I'm not really a jail type.
I feel that.
Ain't where I want to be right
yeah,
now.
it's not at all.
People may thrive in that environment.
Yeah.
It wasn't really for me. So
Not your ministry.
not my ministry at all.
feel you.
Not trying to start a prison ministry. But so what I did was he said, hey, I'll let you make a phone call. So I called my brother. My brother is a lawyer. One part of him being a lawyer is that, he can help me out legally. The other part is that he typically has money. So in that moment, I realized I had no money to get myself out of this situation. And I had to call someone else to get me out of that situation.
Pivotal
Resources.
moment.
Yep.
Pivotal moment.
Yep.
Pivotal moment. So they towed my car. And my brother said, the cop said, if your brother can pay this fine and meet us at the courthouse before I drive you around to the back, I'll let you go. So Pull up at the courthouse. My brother coming walking out. He had made the payment. The cop pulls up right in front and opens the door, pulls me out with the handcuffs. You know, people walking in the court. I'm looking like a real criminal at this point. Embarrassed.
Yeah.
He unhandcuffs me, lets me go. I get in my brother's car. My brother says, hey, you got to come to my office. I have work to do. I'll take you to get your car later. So while I was sitting there, I was pondering about this thought that I wasn't able to get myself out of that situation. And I asked him for a piece of paper, asked him for a pencil and some scissors and some tape.
Etched out that towel time.
Made my first prototype out of paper sitting at his desk that day. And then from there, he referred me to a lawyer who was a patent attorney. That lawyer met with me in that same dining room or that same white cabinet kitchen, and we began the patent process. And fast forward 3 or 4 years later, I get the call from him, and he says, hey, man, your patent cleared.
There it is.
Come on, Patton.
Come on, Towel Tom.
In the record books, in the history book.
What a story.
That story was so rich, G.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's one of those moments we often forget, and please, for those that are watching us right now, chime in, shoot us an email, startupmasters@thesphere.tv. We often forget that it's in those moments of desperation, in those moments of necessity, in those moments where you have nothing left, that the ingenuity wheel starts to flow. Because now you realize that, hey, if I don't make change, if I don't course correct, if I don't pivot from this situation, this could happen again.
right.
And again and again.
And again and again. Now, I'm willing to guess. I've never gone through the patent process, but it sounds like it could be a bit overwhelming. You probably got to be organized and have all your ducks in a row. Is that right?
You do have to be organized. And as a person who was diagnosed with ADHD, it wasn't the easiest of tasks. So it started off, I had a great patent attorney. And really, I'm going to tell you what the trick in my secret sauce is. And I might be jumping ahead a little bit on the secret sauce thing, but being that it was an industry that I wasn't familiar with, my background wasn't in that. It was in marketing and branding. It was in entertainment. I just prayed and I said, God, send me all of the people that I'm going to need in order to make this possible. And from there, the people just started coming. I met a manufacturer, and the manufacturer, he would teach me a little bit about, AutoCAD drawings. And then I might meet another manufacturer, and they'll teach me a little bit about thickness and, the type of plastics. And I just started learning and learning. And I remember one day I woke up and I was on Skype. I was on Skype speaking to a man in India who was from, I believe, England, about making my product in China. And I was like, man, this just got real.
Yeah.
So it was just, I took a sheet of paper, I wrote it out, made the plan simple, made it plain, said, this is what I have to do. I have to complete this task, have to complete that task, have to complete that task. And I believe that in anything that you do in life, you can get there with about 10 steps.
You can get there with 10 steps, and you could also get there when you delegate some of those 10 steps out.
Yeah.
Speaking of, this portion of the show is sponsored by the Org Boss.
Hey.
Has the clutter in your home or office gotten out of hand? Are you sick and tired of spending way too much time trying to find the things you need on a daily basis? If so, then give the Org Boss a call so that she can help you create organized, functional systems that match your personal lifestyle. The Org Boss is a residential and commercial organizing company that specializes in decluttering, home staging, interior design, space planning, inventory staging, and business process documentation for growing businesses looking to formally document their procedures. Call the Org Boss today at 832-617-0624 or send an email to info@theorgboss.com. That's info@TheOrgBoss.com. One time for V. You see it on the screen. Give our girl a call.
There it is. Give our
My
girl
man,
a call.
I love this dude.
Brad's a G.
Brad is a G. He is. He's a G. He's an inventor, and he owns a patent. Sign my hand, bro.
Exactly. So let me ask you this question, right? During that infancy, during those 10 steps, when you put in all that time, when you're delegating tasks, when you're making things happen, what were some of those lessons you learned along that journey that kind of stuck with you?
Major lesson is, you got to find good people. You got to find good people, and you have to, especially when you're dealing a lot in business, you have to trust or take a risk and trust someone. So that was one of the major steps. Another one was that the biggest one was just a stickiness. You have to stick to it. So there were a lot of times where I use injection mold process. My mold costs $11,500 to make. I usually don't like to tell people that because I don't want to discourage them in the process. But when I first got that number back, I was like, oh, I do not have $11,000 to make this mold.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. But on that day, I was working at a shelter, and I used to do job placement. And I had a section at that shelter where people would apply for jobs. And someone had wrote on a piece of paper. When I went to that section, I normally don't go to that section. When I went to that section, someone had wrote on that piece of paper when I was thinking about quitting, "Make me, mold me." And I still have that piece of paper to this day. And that paper just told me in that moment, man, you'll get this $11,500 to make this mold. So, finding good people, you got to trust someone, and then also just having that stickiness, just sticking to it no matter what, because the entire process took 3 years.
And that's time well
That
spent.
is time well spent. I know we need to put a pin in that, but we need to come back to that and a pin in that because I got a plethora of questions.
Indeed.
How did you get this 11 grand?
Because we're going to talk about that. Now, Facebook, we love y'all. This was time well spent on Facebook Live as well, but we got to let you go. Now, remember, the show's not stopping. We like to give you the first 15 minutes or so, but guess what? You got to go and subscribe. So go to thesphere.tv/startup masters, and we've got some options for you. You can find us on iTunes. You can get us on SoundCloud. We're also available on Google Play Music and, of course, Stitcher for our techie folks. Now, while you're there, make sure you review us. Let us know. Give us that constructive criticism. We want to know how we're doing and can the show be better. Please give us those insights, those gems. Hit those stars so that people know that this show is doing this thing for you. And at the same time, share this out. Share with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share with your lovers. Share with your haters, the side pieces, anybody and everybody. We want to make sure you share this show out. And of course, last but not least, if you truly love what we're doing, you see the benefit, you see the mission, then sow a seed. Go over to sphere.tv/donate. We've got a couple of options for you. You can do a single-based donation as well as a Patreon-based donation, which will get you exclusive content from us right here at the Sphere. So remember, folks, just the first 15, 20 minutes or so on Facebook Live, go ahead and subscribe right here at the Sphere. All right.
Okay, so unpin.
Pull that pin
Pull that
out.
pin out.
Now let's dive in. Talk a little bit about the financial aspects and process of being, yet again, in a position of need. What was that pivot game like? What was that resource game like to put you in the right place, right time to secure those funds for that mold?
Man, it was just a very interesting journey from a resource acquisition perspective. One, had a solid mother.
Come on, mama.
Ain't nothing wrong with
like
that.
a mom,
Shout out to the moms.
Okay.
In the building.
Okay.
Mothers there around the corner.
Had a solid mother, but I went through the entire process. I did my own investor meetings where, I took from the Barack Obama strategy.
Sure.
When he came out and he started doing that microfinancing for his campaign, I said, hey, how about I try to fund my project through a microfinancing perspective. So I had some people that came alongside of me that believed in me from past projects.
Yep.
They liked the product, but they also were interested in investing in me. And then also, I had came from an event background, so I was really familiar with event management. I had some marketing contracts, and when I would get, some really good contracts, like I remember one contract, I think I might have made about $4,000. It's just saying a number, $4,000 some dollars on that contract. I took all that money and I used to call it. I used to call the guy who I had to pay the mold man. And some of my friends started joking with me, saying, "Man, it sounds
That's
like
the
you
mold
always
man
talking
money."
like you selling dope."
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey man,
Wait.
I gotta get this.
Gotta
mold.
re-up.
I gotta get
Right.
this mold done." And, that was always the thing. And then from there, it was, I had an uncle that blessed me too along the way, which helped with, buying plastic as a raw material, buying colorant as a raw material. All of these things, shipping it in, warehousing it, all of these things are just costs. And I'm still not completely there yet. I still have to, I'm still working on retail packaging.
Yeah.
Just all of these which have a cost. So financing from friends, financing from bootstrapping, just work that I did myself,
Sure.
and financing from family and just people that just wanted to be stakeholders in the product itself.
You touched on Barack's strategy. Can you give our audience just a refresher on what that was and what it entailed? Because it really was ingenious.
Ingenious. Barack Obama's entire political
The fella got
campaign
swag.
from
Yeah.
a marketing perspective, just absolutely
Out the
amazing.
box.
Absolutely amazing. So Barack, instead of doing like what most politicians up to his point had done, which go and find a few key people that had a lot of money, really not, I don't know if you could use the term kissing their butt or just really kind of playing to the things that they wanted to see happen. He instead just went out to the American people and said, hey, that's why when we were getting all those emails,
Yep.
hey, just give me a
Text
dollar.
messages.
Text messages,
Give me a dollar.
Hit me with $5.
Give me a
Give me,
dollar,
today is Tuesday. Give me $5.
You got $5. No Popeyes.
Today Wednesday, give me $5, give me $10, give me $20.
Yeah.
And I saw, and then he ended up being able to raise, if not outraise, but raise as much money as the other candidate was willing to do.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was amazing. So with my product, I said, hey, look, I can try to find someone. And I tried. I can try to find someone who give me, 50,000, 100,000, $500,000. And I met with those people who were interested in doing those types of things. It just never shook out. It never came through. So then I said, well, look, there are some people out here on this planet that want to be on the ground floor of the next Twitter, or the next Instagram.
Always.
And why not offer that to the common man who might have $500? They might have $1,000. They might have $2,000. And guess what? There were common men, there were janitors that had that.
And what we miss as entrepreneurs is just that, is we will collectively rally behind each other and support each other when we believe in it, but more so when the person that's talking about the product believes in it more than anybody on the planet.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's dive in to the present, to today, right now. Talk about Towel Time. Tell us what it is, what it does. Give us a demo. Let's have this conversation.
Got it. So I do actually have one here today.
There it is.
Magic of podcast.
There it is.
So
It's magical.
right. The Towel Tum. This is the Towel Tum. And the Towel Tum basically is a decorative dish towel drying rack. And the way it works is, first of all, when you walk into your kitchen, most kitchens, if someone's coming over, you'll see someone balling up their dish towel. They're throwing it under the counter. They're trying to hide it in the sink. They're throwing it in the washer. There's really no place for that product. So first of all, the product conceals the towel from view in your kitchen. Then any excess water from that towel is caught by this slope here,
Okay.
drains out of the front port directly into your kitchen sink. And then most of all, and best of all, since air moves freely around the towel, because the air is allowed to move freely around the towels dry efficiently. So the towels don't have that stinky dish towel odor. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't come up with that one. That was just an extra that guy gave me.
Come on, bonus.
Bonus. My wife was using a prototype early on, and I was just happy the towel dried. I was like, man, the towel dried. It worked. But then, the towel would be up there for week after week, and she was like, Brad, the towel doesn't stink anymore. And I was like, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It is.
So-
Come to fruition.
Come to fruition. So now I offer it, I'm kind of a Martha Stewart kind of guy. So now I offer it in multiple colors. It comes in black, red, and silver to match different kitchen color schemes. So that way it can add a decorative piece to the kitchen, and it can also add some style, and then it's
Yeah.
functioning. So, on the website, of course, there are, more examples of the product in its space, but
I'm dead. That's
Towel
dope. Efficient, effective. It works. It's practical.
it's
there
practical
it is,
and
man.
very cost effective.
Yeah.
I sell it for $9.99.
There it is.
Because I just one of those people. I believe in a Walmart or just a regular price product.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I have learned through this process, though, is when you see something on the shelf that might cost $2, it might have cost that person a lot of money to get that to that shelf.
Very true.
So,
and you can touch 1 million people and be A-okay on a $2 product.
Totally.
On the $2
Totally.
I'm just
The
saying.
numbers will not lie.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the Towel Tom and the inventor himself. But obviously, like we talked about, there's these $2 products, $5 products, all these products on the shelf. What is that X factor about you, Bradford? What is that X factor about the Towel Tom that stands out amongst the competition?
I believe in gifts. I believe in gifts, and I believe in the concept of your gifts will make room for you. So what I found about what I found as far as my X factor and where I truly excel is when I focus in on my gift for marketing and branding. So I'm focusing on my gift for marketing and branding, focusing on my gift for creativity. Then that's what gives me my X factor. So what does that look like? You know, when I'm not focused on that, and when I'm not focused on that like I wasn't early on, you know, I found myself right up on Christmas and I had no promotional things going on because I've been focused on research and development. I have been focused on manufacturing. I've been focused on so many of those things. But recently I did the Houston Home and Garden Show.
Nice.
And when I tied in, prior to that, I was just doing, you know, the black tablecloth when I'm going out do fairs and things like that. But when I wanted to go to that level, I really put my marketing and branding hat on. And I went from the common black tablecloth to, you know, branded tablecloth,
Come on,
scuba,
logo.
fitted logo, pop-up banners. And even though I felt like I definitely wasn't, I felt like my look and my appearance gave me the feel as if I was on the level of the rest of the people that
You
were there who
arrived.
probably had spent a lot more money on their boots than I had. But I had brought my secret sauce. And what was my secret sauce? I'm a better marketer and brander.
There it is.
So as long as you focus on that, that's what I think my X factor is.
I like that, man. Someone into self, utilizing the gifts, the skills that you have, because you've put in the 10,000 hours. We talk about that at this table all the time. The amount of effort you put in for what you're good at,
Yeah.
the things that come natural to you, use that in business. Take yourself to the next level. Market yourself, brand yourself. So important. Now, obviously, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
The marketing and branding, that's a lot of placement, product placement, time spent. But what are you spending back on yourself? What's
know,
going back into Brad to be the best you that you can be?
So some of the things that I love to run. You know, I love to run. Love to go run at Memorial Park. So I try to do that as much as possible.
Sure.
I'm working on like just doing meditation now. You know, just taking some time just to sit, breathe. And then I'm also spending a lot, I like to read, but I'm also spending a lot of dedicated time on like what you just said, self. Not trying to focus on achievement, not trying to focus on ambition. Spending time with my daughters. I have 3 beautiful daughters. Spending time with my wife.
Congratulations,
Congrats,
man.
man.
That's what's up.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Spending time with my wife. I have 1 beautiful wife. You know?
Just one?
No
Just one.
polygamy.
Yeah, no polygamy. No polygamy.
We're not
no
doing
polygamy. You know, so those type of things, but a lot of things that I found for self, you know, and I love to listen to music. Just sit.
Who you rocking with right now? What genre?
Ah,
Talk
man.
about it.
Man, first, this Apple Music.
Oh, yeah? You on?
Apple
on.
Music is your jam.
I'm on.
The whole thing. And I like Tidal.
Uh-huh.
I like Tidal.
Shout out to Jay.
Shout out
Birthday
to Jay.
was yesterday.
Birthday was
Fellow
yesterday.
Sag.
Come on.
Fellow Sash. Product interface people though. Look at Apple Tidal. Okay, so anyway, back to it. Music. This morning I was listening to a little Sam Smith.
Okay.
So I did
Is a new joint?
the new one.
Yeah.
I heard the new one's
that
fire.
New one is
Boy, been through
Sam-
some things.
He-
His boy
Sam
pulled a
said
Mary
he
J.
was like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
share everything.
Yeah, he pulled a Mary J.
Everything.
Blige.
Yes.
The new one. I've been listening to a lot of J. Cole.
Okay.
Recently.
Yeah.
Love Fantasia, of course. Favorite group though, and I bounce back all the time to Temptations.
Nothing wrong with
Come on,
that,
old
sir.
school.
Nothing wrong with that. You better do
Temptations,
that.
Al Green, Simply Beautiful.
Classic.
That
Check
is
that
a
out,
classic.
man.
Like, no, you gotta have
Gotta
that
have
one
a
on
classic,
rotation.
man.
Oh
Gotta
my.
have a
Oh
classic.
my. So that's the music, and you know Brian Courtney Wilson, like him too.
Okay. I hadn't heard that name in quite some time. Haven't heard that in quite some time. Well, okay. Well, before we keep this party going, because we got some more dopeness to hop into, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by us right here at The Sphere. So, are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
Okay, so we got to jump back into this because there's so much stuff more that I need to know about Brad. I'm so intrigued. So one of the things is you talked about making sure you stay in your ministry, in your lane, marketing and branding. What type of things do you have on rinse and repeat for those other items that we know, perhaps administrative stuff that we don't necessarily want to do every single day? What do you have on rinse and repeat to keep you in the wheelhouse that you can maintain and focus on marketing and branding?
Well, I recently was not good at the rinse and repeat, right? Not at all. So what I've started to do was what you talked about a little bit earlier was that delegation. I started to expand my team of people that I work with and then also place trust in the team of people that I work with in their space.
That's
Okay,
a key.
let's peel that. Let's peel that onion a little bit more. How did you get to that point?
Prayer and consecration. Talk about it, man.
Man,
Come on, Brad.
I call it the God loop. It's a God loop. God loop is like 610 for me in Houston. So 610 is a circular freeway. Multiple freeways intersect on and off. And I think that when you're on a loop in 610, because you guys live here, you can keep going around the loop. You keep going around loop. Now, there are other freeways that'll take you off that and they'll take you to an entirely different state. But as long as you keep doing the same thing, you just keep going around that loop, around and around and around. And I got tired of going around and around
You
and
got
around.
tired of seeing the same scenery.
Man.
Same scenery. I said, look, I'm tired of seeing the same scenery. I want to go to the Home and Garden Show. I want to walk in Target and see my product. And if you're trying to manage everything, Brad, you will never get there. And the trick is, the truth in that is here in your life. You've been trying to manage all these things for all these years and you haven't gotten to where you want to be. So it's either you can keep driving that loop or you can try to get off of it.
The God loop.
It's so true though, because when you think about it, if we never take the time to sharpen our axe, how can we ever go out there and cut down trees?
Can't cut down the tree.
How do we protect our creative space? And how do you protect your creative space beyond listening to music, making sure that at any given point you are ready? If you get a call tonight, hey, I need to meet in the next 10 minutes. I got a great idea for you.
Yeah.
How do you protect your creative space so you're in a place that you're ready?
Wow,
You got your game face on.
that creative, you must be a creative saying something like that. That creative space, it's just really maintaining a balance. You know, being able to get quiet and really, for me, block out everything. So I have a buddy who he likes to do that to me for his personal projects. He does. And he'll say, Brad, look, I'm going to tell you what I have to tell you. He said, then you'll just sit there and you'll just like lean your head back and then you'll be like, okay, I got it.
You processing it.
I got it. I process. So when I can take the time to just block out everything, not concerned, and I don't know, it's kind of like, if you ever watch those basketball movies where there's a superstar basketball player and they're coming down court, but whenever it's the superstar one, like when they're playing in that big game, it gets slow.
It gets slow motion. Like
So
everything
that's
is so slow, and then the shot go in the winning shot, right?
The winning shot.
Yeah,
Oh, the winning
it's the
shot.
money shot.
Yeah.
The money shot. So that's what happens for me. Everything just starts to slow down, and then I can really get in my creative space.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's so dope. That's that zone. That's that juju.
That's that juju. That's that flow. So,
That's that flow.
so when you're there, what would you say is constantly inspiring you to keep pushing, to keep, that wind beneath your wings, so to speak, to make sure that this product shows up in a Target, to make sure that you can find it online in all the major retailers? What's that inspiration like? Where do you find that?
Two places. One is a statement that says you can't win today's games with yesterday's home runs. So that continuously makes me want to move forward and do something different. And two, really, hey, my daughters, my wife, like even with this product, it's not mine.
Legacy.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming. That was the alley.
Legacy.
And I went up there, got it.
You got that.
Got it.
Slow
But-
motion.
Slow motion. It's not mine. So I have 3 beautiful daughters. Like
Yes.
it's their product.
Come on.
When
It's
I made
worth
the
$2 million,
decision-
and then 5 years later it's gonna be worth $8 million.
Yeah.
Come on.
All for 9, trying to get the game. For
Pass it
9.99
down
like
to my.
Jay-Z.
Come on, man.
Brad.
To the 444. Come on.
Happy birthday, Jid.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. So, it's not mine. So I'm building all of these things. I'm building, at one point I read this book. I read the Bible, and it said in Ecclesiastes, it talks about how you build these things and you give these things to your children, and some of them, they're going to squander these things. But when I got to that realization that, hey, it's about the next stage. It's about the next level. My dad did things that allowed me to do some of the things that I do today. My mom did things that allowed me to do some of the things I do today. And my goal and my purpose here in this time is just to do some things that will allow my kids to do some things.
We got to break those generational curses and create new destinies for our families and our future and our community, right? Because it's all about it. It's on us.
Exactly.
We 100 years behind.
Yeah.
And when we talk about wealth and we talk about that, from a standpoint of being behind, we got to get our money right. Like, we got to get our money up, right?
Exactly.
Got to get our coins right. And speaking of coins, this portion of the show is sponsored by our good friends, the Houston Housewives of Finance.
There it is.
Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they do not have enough in savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today, like right now, at 1-844-700-4463, or email us at info@thehoustonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services.
There it is. And
we know that to be true.
Yep. They get your money right. I ain't even got kids, and my kids good. Shout out to LJ and Tony doing their
One
thing.
time, y'all, and listen, check it. We show love on the show.
Talk about
Money
it.
Factor. Check them out.
Yes.
When are the ladies on?
Mondays, every Monday, 10 a.m. Make sure to tune in on Facebook and, of course, subscribe to their show. Now, you know where I'm going?
Come on.
You know where I'm going
Bring
with this?
it.
Okay.
Bring it.
Okay.
Dominoes.
well, before I hit you, we talking legacy, right? We're doing it for the kids. We're talking that strategy of building true wealth over time, right? With that, there's always a plan of action. There's always a blueprint to make sure that comes to fruition. What's that 5, 10, 20-year plan look like for you, good sir, in the Towel Time?
For me, with the Towel Time, it's really about promoting the product as far as I can promote the product. Getting the product to be my 5-year immediate goal. One, there's no brand name in dish towel holders. So I would like to be my product to be the Towel Time to be the brand name in dish towel holders. So when you say dish towel holder, I actually would like it to be a category killer. So you know how people say things like Coca-Cola, but they mean soda.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want people to say Towel Time, and they're just talking about a regular dish towel rack.
Yeah.
I like so that. That's my to make it a brand, that people are recognizing. Also to expand the product line, to start to offer dish towels.
Okay.
If I sell a towel rack, why not sell dish towels?
You might as well
turnkey.
So dish towels, different product lines. Expand the material types that I utilize, and just add some other things that my patent allows for me to add to the product.
That makes good business sense, man.
Always.
Get them from. He said category killer.
Did
I
you
love
hear
it. I hadn't heard
Hashtag
that.
that fast.
Yes,
Category
category killer.
killer.
That's going on social media somewhere. The category killer. So, let's just say
Uh-oh.
this category killer. All the molds, the time spent, the plastics ordered, shipped in, polyurethanes and whatnot, melted and gone away. The AutoCAD drawings, the 3D molding processes, all the toil and the time spent to bring this to fruition, eradicated. Let's say all the dollars that have been sown into this product have been burnt up, decimated. Everything that you've built from the 80s to today has been wiped clean. That slate is now empty. but you still have the vision and the memory of the journey you just took, and we slide you a little seed money, how would you build this brand? How would you take this business to that next level this time around that you didn't do the first time?
Same product?
Same product.
Oh, okay. I would do things faster. Because now I have a knowledge base.
Okay.
So I think about if I did have seed money, once you get a knowledge base, and that knowledge base for the Towel Tum right now is a systemized knowledge base. And actually the system that I used to develop this product it was based upon making a single for a recording artist. But it was the same system. It just was applied to the Towel Tum once I figured out what that system was. So what I would do this time was I would just go straight to what I need to do. I really focus in on the most important things. Like, okay, Brad, you need to do this, and this needs to happen this amount of time. You know that you don't want to go to China because you already learned that manufacturing in China can be problematic from an intellectual property perspective. Then you got to fly to China, all those types of things. So all the mistakes, all the things that I learned over the years from people, I would just really employ them a lot quicker. And I would get a team of people a lot faster.
That's always a common
We
denominator.
hear that. Get a team.
A lot faster.
And you're not going to China. Because you already know that that's a bit problematic.
It's a bit
We
problematic.
good.
It's a bit problematic.
I'm not going to worry about saving that dollar on per item. I'm just going
We good.
right.
25 cents extra is okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's
Made
all right.
in America.
Made in
It's
America.
okay.
It's okay.
Boom.
Yeah.
Man, Bradford Deyon, inventor of the Towel Tum. My G, we truly appreciate you, good sir. And because of all the time spent, because of how you've toiled in this business, because of the mistakes made, which we like to coin as learning opportunities,
Got it.
because of all that, the process you've now built and can make applicable to almost anything, we would like to officially, at this table right here, coin you, good sir, a startup master.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Please
Thank
let
you,
the
thank you,
people
thank
know,
you, thank you,
everybody that's tuned
Thank
in,
you.
my G, let them know where they can find your product,
Okay.
where they can find more about you.
So the Towel Tum, you can find it online at www.toweltum.com. If you order now, you can get it before Christmas. Also, you can find us on Facebook at Towel Tum. You can find me on Instagram at Towel Tum. And my name is Bradford Deyon, Bradford, last name Deyon. I go Deyon, right? Like that was hard, easy to spell. Last name Deyon, and I go by Brad Deyon on Facebook.
There it is. KG, where can the good people reach you at?
Good peeps on the book, on the gram, on LinkedIn. For my corpreneurs, that's right, those of y'all who still got your jobs and you dabbling in entrepreneurship, you can catch me at KOG Speaks. And for my YouTubers, subscribe, KOG Speaks TV. What about you, G?
There it is. Hey, 1st and the 15th, you know what it is. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I'm probably chasing some carolers down the street. Get off my lawn. That's at G Hawkins.
Cringe.
That's G Hawkins with the Z. Hit him with the bah humbug. And remember, if you have any questions about what we're doing right here on the show, shoot us an email, startupmasters@thesphere.tv, or across any social media platform at the Sphere TV. Use the hashtag StartupMasters, and we will definitely get back with you. This has been another great episode.
Yes.
We will
Thank
see you all next time. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.